If you like spooky podcasts, this video is for you. Hi, my name is Nicole Barone. I'm a horror and dark fiction author, and I love podcasts, especially if they're spooky. These are my top 5 podcasts in no particular order and why I love them. First is Radio Rental. Radio Rental is kind of like if a radio show was a blockbuster and everything was haunted. The original host, Terry Carnation, has retired or gone to look for his dead wife. I can't remember exactly. The storytelling is done really well. I don't know for sure if it is all listener submitted stories or if it is professional writer stories, but there's still a few stories that I think about to this day. So if you're looking for a podcast that is kind of funny, dark humor with the hosts that they have for it, and then just some really creepy storytelling with a high production value, this is the podcast for you. Number 2 is My Victorian Nightmare. This is for all the gothic history buffs out there. I don't read a lot of gothic horror, but I love gothic history. The host Genevieve is just has the most soothing voice, so I could listen to her talk for hours upon hours. But I really value that she does a lot of time and is really intentional with her research. She does a lot of historical creepy storytelling. I really love a lot of her stories about seances, and she reads from newspaper articles from way back then. This is definitely for the history nerds and the gothic storyteller lovers. Number 3 is Hometown Ghost Stories. Hometown Ghost Stories is what I listen to when I want to laugh. There's 3 hosts, and the banter they have between each other, like, I don't think any of them are related, but it reminds me of like 3 close brothers that just give each other a bunch of shit, but they also love the paranormal and horror and things like that. They sometimes do these like live Discord, or I'm not really sure, live chats where people like drop things into the chat, and it's just really funny. Their narratives are really funny. They also go on eBay and look for haunted items and bid on haunted items. And then if you are like a Patreon or a subscriber and you pay extra, you get a vote for what haunted item they're going to buy. And I just think that's a really fun thing because I've seen those haunted items on eBay, and I just love that they've turned it into this like live storytelling thing. Number 4 is Lights Out. Lights Out has 2 hosts, sometimes 3. They do a really lovely mix of just really horrific features of like cults, sometimes serial killers, sometimes it's haunted stuff, just anything that's really going to scare you. Living up to their name, Lights Out. It's also very well produced. They do have a banter, but I would say it's a little softer. It's not as like rah, 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 rah. It's a little more, I guess I would say, debate or going into each of theirs belief system and just kind of having like a very chill debate. It's not aggressive or anything like that. This is the podcast that I normally listen to, and I think it's for anyone who just wants to feel the heebie jeebies. Then we have Real Ghost Stories Online, and I've been listening to this for so long that I hope I have the name right. Verify with the image, but I'm pretty sure it's Real Ghost Stories Online. I have been listening to this podcast for almost 9 years now. I first started listening to this when I moved up from Los Angeles to Portland, Oregon. And so there was this backlog they had of just hundreds of ghost stories, and I listened to it on the entire drive up, which for us was like a 14-hour drive. This is great if you want to just listen through a backlog of ghost stories. If you are going on a long road trip, this is fantastic. It is just ghost story after ghost story. Sometimes they'll read ghost stories that people write into them, and sometimes they will just play the voicemails. I really like the authenticity of that in hearing. Sometimes you can hear them go back to that moment. I feel like that's so real, and that kind of just creeps me out on its own. Tony, who is the main host of it, also does now episodes with his daughter, which is really sweet. And so that makes those episodes a little more kid friendly. My son is 8 years old and we'll listen to them together, and he really likes them. Tony has a history in radio broadcasting. He has that perfect radio broadcaster voice. Like when you think of a radio broadcaster, this is his voice. If you love spooky podcasts and you have a podcast you want to recommend or that you think I would like or someone else will like, please leave it in the comments below.